Hello everybody, my name is Lake and welcome back to Shonen This Week, the show where I look at all sorts of manga and we rank their newest chapters every single week. So if you enjoy, make sure to hit that subscribe button because like I already said, we do this every week. Okay, let's jump right into it. We've had a lot of good chapters this week. I would like to give a status update. I am about 720 chapters into One Piece, so I anticipate that probably by the end of January, I'll be able to start adding One Piece onto these lists. Also, there will be videos about One Piece coming. Now, let's go ahead and start with Ichi the Witch. This was an alright chapter. I feel like really nothing substantial happened. I don't really have much to say about it. You guys all know I'm not really a big Gokuraku fan. I don't find him particularly compelling. Sorry, if I sound off, it's because I'm a little sick. I don't find him particularly interesting. This is a solid B tier chapter. It's kind of mind-numbingly average. I will say, correct me if I'm wrong, I did check in quite a few places. I don't think there is a Centuria chapter this week. Centuria was really good last week. So if we're to rate it off of that chapter, I would probably put that a cut above Ichi the Witch. I don't think we got to talk about the last Centuria chapter. We also didn't get to talk about the last two Chainsaw Man chapters, which I'm personally going to rank pretty low. But first, let's talk about Centuria. We got some more character development for the new, fake Arcos, which I think is leading to something really interesting. I feel like I've already said this in the past, but we're kind of leading into what's going to be a flashback between how Arcos and the maid's sort of, relationship started. And it seems like it's kind of like a Stockholm syndrome sort of thing. Sorry, if you see random cuts like that, that's me coughing. I don't know what the hell's been going on, but I'm just getting sick over and over and over again, and I'm going to go to the doctors to get it checked out. Now, Centuria, A tier chapter, just because of the implications of it and kind of what it sets up for future conflict for me, I find that to be really interesting. Chainsaw Man, honestly, I'm going to move this down to C tier because personally, and this is a criticism I've had with Chainsaw Man for a while, I don't even think Fujimoto knows what the fuck he's writing anymore. To be completely honest with you, I think he's completely lost his mind. I think he's completely lost the plot. And I don't know what's going on. He doesn't know what's going on. Nobody knows what's going on. We were in hell, and then now we're out of hell in a single chapter, and I just don't care about what's going on anymore, really. It's not D tier, but it's definitely, it's safe in C tier for now. We'll see how it goes. Now, Sakamoto Days, this is going to go in A for me because I think this was a really good chapter, but there's just a couple things about it that I don't like, and it's mainly what it's leading to. So Sakamoto shows up, he saves Akira. Akira upscale, by the way. How the hell is she was basically going toe-to-toe with Uzuki for a lot of this chapter. 3 chapters now, actually. Somehow Sakamoto shows up to save her at the end, and then it just kind of makes you realize, are we really in the end game of Sakamoto Days here? To me, it feels like we're leading towards what's probably going to be a very unsatisfying conclusion. So for that reason, I'm going to drop it down to an A, even though this is a really good chapter. It's setting up for some really good stuff next week. I really liked Sakamoto, writing on the camera and advertising ballpoint pens and stuff. It was really good, but it's definitely not S tier. There were 2 S tier chapters this week. And it's the usual suspects. I mean, what more is there to say about it? I'm going to start by talking about Modulo, where we get a major Dabura downscale, really. He's absolutely getting worked by Maharaga here. And he's getting worked so hard that he literally has to use the power of friendship to come back from this shit. I will say the Dabura slander from this, I can already see it. I see it in my mind's eye when I close it. My third Cimmerian. I see it in my third eye. That's the point. The slander is going to be generational for this next week. But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to work out well for Big Raga over this one. He's probably getting packed next week. And of course, we have Rika, who's apparently just a masterful martial artist now, just absolutely giving Maru the works for some fucking reason. So that's pretty cool. It looks like this fight is shifting in Tsurugi's favor, and as we know about Jujutsu Kaisen, usually when it shifts in a character's favor, that doesn't really bode well for them. And so I say the same about Dabura versus Raga. Really, it could still go either way, you know? This chapter ended with almost the equivalent of like the Gojo 1 kind of thing. You know, maybe Raga is going to pull something out of his ass and absolutely slam Dabura next chapter, but I don't really see it happening. I think this is going to be a Dabura victory. As for Tsurugi and Maru, probably could still go either way, but I think Maru probably going to lose this one. Maybe. We'll see. Now, speaking of downscales and upscales, Kagurabachi this week is insane. Like, this is probably one of, if not the best chapter in the series. This chapter is absolutely fucking crazy. It's better than all the ones I've covered so far. I have a lot to say. About this one. I have a lot to say about it. How much time do I have left? I'm at 6 minutes and 50 seconds. Okay. I'm going to try to keep this as reasonably length as possible. So, Soga upscale, okay? We know now that his dragonfly moves so fast that instantaneous does not quantify it, and also, as if that wasn't enough, Hokazono literally went out of his way to add this panel that says it cuts space too, which literally to me just read as a, like, yeah, he beats Gojo, by the way. So that was just a massive middle finger. Fuck you, Gege Akutami. I thought that was pretty funny. But also, holy shit, this is overpowered. And then from that, we get a Chihiro upscale too, where he actually reads this invisible infinite speed slash and counters it. There's definitely something up with his eyes. There's 100%. He's got some special eye power for sure. But also, the reaction speed of this feat and just everything involved with it is insane. Like, this upscales Chihiro a lot. Like, he's a lot stronger than we've been giving him credit for, I feel. And he almost goes toe-to-toe with Soga here, but ultimately, you know, we can see he's still very outmatched is the word I'm looking for, and ultimately the N10 gets broken in half. A lot of people predicted this would happen, me included. And Chihiro, now this is the part we did not predict, Chihiro gets stabbed through the heart. Soga drops this insane line, is the heart on the left side? And fucking stabs him through the chest. What an insane thing to say before killing somebody. But I think we all know where this is going. Samura, and you know I've been a Samura hater. I've been pushing this agenda. I've been pushing this agenda since the very beginning. Samura, he's been using kind of the minimum of the Suzaku to heal himself, keep himself alive, and he's been using the rest of it on Chihiro. So, I have two predictions here. I have two kind of parallel predictions. So my first prediction, I will say the one thing I'm certain of is that Samura dies. So my first prediction is that Samura uses Suzaku. He stops healing himself, and he uses the last of it to heal Chihiro fully, and also fix the N10. And then at that point, he's like, Chihiro, get the fuck out of here. Maybe Shiba saves him. So that's my first prediction. My second prediction, and I think this one's a little bit more out there. I think, obviously, Samura is going to use Suzaku to heal Chihiro. That's out of the question. It's what happens after that is kind of more ambiguous. So, he uses Suzaku to heal Chihiro. The N10 is not repaired. And then, this is another popular theory. We either have Chihiro forge his new sword, reforge the N10, or a theory I saw going around, which is that he's going to merge parts of the Cloud Gouger with the N10. Now, I think all of these theories kind of hold some weight. The one thing I'm certain of, I don't know how I feel about the new sword theory, because I just don't really think it makes sense, especially with how they've set up the N10 here. The N10 is built as a counter to the malediction, and of course, the iconography with the sword and the goldfish is just really important and kind of integral to the series at this point. So I just really can't see him losing the N10 fully. I think he's still definitely going to possess these abilities. So that's why I'm going with either one, Samura heals the N10 and he just gets it back, or he reforges the N10, perhaps adding the Cloud Gouger parts to it. I'm not with the new sword theory. I think I'm right out on the new sword. I don't think it's going to happen. I think either N10's getting reforged right now, or it's getting reforged later and we're having a bit of a training arc. But I quite like the theory of the N10 getting merged with the Cloud Gouger, because Hokuzono has said that I think there's still parts of it left. Something like that. It gives Chihiro a chance to show off his sword forging skills, but also not in a way that makes it like he's on par with his father. And it also will give him new abilities, which we all know is very important for a shonen protagonist. All in all, like I said, there's a lot to think about this chapter. This is massive Chihiro upscale, massive Soga upscale, massive Shiba downscale. And, oh man, I also want to put Shiba on Fraud Watch, because what are you doing, bro? Like, you're supposed to be this kid's... I think I kind of already went on a similar rant in my last video, but you're supposed to be this kid's guardian. He's out there fighting Katana Hitler, and you're just, like, sweating, going like, oh, I'm so tired, in a subway. Lock the fuck in, bro. Lock the fuck in. What are you doing? What is anybody... Like, Chihiro's the only one putting in work right now. S tier Kagurabachi chapter. I don't really have much more to say. Like I said, I'm hoping I could add One Piece into this now. And trust me, I've been reading lots of One Piece. I have a lot of agendas to push about this. It's going to be pretty generational once we finally get One Piece on this list. But anyway, that's going to be it for this week. It was good to see you all. It's good to be back. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit that subscribe button, drop a like, comment down below, all that good stuff. And I'll see you next week. Okay? Okay. Ciao.